Hey guys, today we are talking to Tom Huston Orr, director of the Helmerich School of Drama and of Our Town, a Helmerich Lab Theater production in collaboration with Sooner Theater. All right, so good evening, y'all. We are talking to director Tom Orr of Our Town. How are you doing, Tom?
I'm fine.
Good. I can tell a little bit. So, why Our Town? Why did you want to do this show?
Well, the Sooner Theater spoke with me a little over a year ago about doing a production here and doing something in collaboration with the Big Read of Norman. And so this is part of the Big Read, which is where all the schools will read the book. And I just thought it'd be great if we put it on stage for the community, and it gave us an opportunity to collaborate. So the Helmerich School of Drama is doing it with the Sooner Theater and the community of Norman. And so we have a cast of 28 people, about half of whom are students and the other half are community professionals and volunteers and faculty members and alumni. So it's a pretty cool crew. I think that it is arguably the finest piece of theater in the American canon. I do. He put it up in the 30s, 34 I think, 34, 36 is when it went up first. And it talks about the period 20 years prior to that. And so they had gone through the 20s, the roaring 20s, and then they sat there in the Depression, and they put this kind of romantic look back at America. And Thornton was very specific that it was a love letter to Boston, to humanity, it was very much a living piece of theater to him. He wrote it, he played in it, he played the stage manager numerous times, and I think it's really a love letter to humanity, and that's why I think it still sticks and it still works. I remember the first time I saw it. I was just a kid. I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, and it had a profound effect on me. It was one of the first times that I watched a play, and I wept, but not like sadness. I wept at how beautiful the message was, and that's what I think it is. I told the cast a couple of days ago, when you listen to these words, it's a bit like being cradled. It's a bit like being held and told everything's going to be all right. All you have to do is pay attention, and so I think it's a masterful work.
I know that you are directing and also performing in this piece, so how has that been? What struggles does that bring up? Is that I know that's not new for you, but talk to us about that experience.
That's hard. It's really hard. And every time I do it, it's a challenge, and I always go, why am I doing this? I'm playing a stage manager who is kind of like the narrator to the play. And so there's a bit of removal that way. I'm not an integral character that plays scenes with the other actors all of the time. I do get to do that once in the play with George and Emily, but most of the time I'm just talking to the audience. And so that's stuff that's easy to rehearse on my own and not bother the actors in their kind of process with it. I've always wanted to play the role. I'm just kind of getting to the right age to play the role. I'm still maybe a little young. Maybe I like to think I'm a little young for the role. But that's a challenge. It takes, the actors have to be very, very patient with me in that process, and they have been. They've been incredible so far. I'm an actor primarily. I'm an actor, and even when I direct from an actor's point of view, and so it's fun for me to be able to be in the piece and direct at the same time. I really enjoy it.
Who do you think the stage manager is?
Oh, goodness. Well, everybody in a play is a variation of the author who wrote the play. Everybody, male or female, doesn't matter. They're Stanley and Blanche are variations of Tennessee. It's the way an author sees humanity, and so they write from their perspective of humanity. So everybody in the play is a variation of Thornton. in the way he sees humanity. I remember watching it the first time when I was a kid and thinking that the stage manager had this like godlike presence to him, that he was magical and removed from humanity. But I think that was through the lens of a child. I think that adults look at it differently. It's definitely a play. It's a group of people putting on a play. They acknowledge it at the beginning, they acknowledge it in the middle, over and over again. We say we're doing a play. And so the stage manager is really just the guy who helps the audience get through and see the message, I think.
Great.
Yeah.
So what would you like to tell the University of Oklahoma students who might be coming to see the show? What would you want them to know?
First, I want to encourage them to come see the show because I think it's a fantastic piece of theater. It's challenging. It's to watch it. It requires you to open up and touch some things that we don't open up and touch all the time. And the stage manager says it. There are a lot of things we all know, but we don't take them out and look at them very often. But I think that it is a love letter and a celebration of what it is to be human. And that's why it has stuck. And that's why it still works today. And that's why I still find it moving.
Thank you guys so much. You can like us on Facebook at Helmerich School of Drama Lab Theater or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Helmerich Lab Theater. We hope to see you from October 17th through 19th and 24th through 26th for Helmerich Lab Theater's production of Our Town in collaboration with Sooner Theater.